Hello, everyone. Welcome on in. This is your girl, Audrey, and you are here for an update and some more shenanigans. Why not? Let's put a little entertainment in our lives before some of you guys are heading to bed, or maybe you're in bed and you're just like, I just want this week to be over. And trust me, families, don't worry. This week will be over before you know it, because right now it's Tuesday and it's all kinds of cray cray. But I know I'm a little late. I wanted to come on at 10 o'clock, but guess what? One of my babies needed me before I can do anything else, and that's what I do. Let me see if we can share out. Let me just see who's around, what's happening, how people are doing, and just see what's going on. So, I don't know. Here's an update. Okay, the floods and the raging rivers that I used to have in my basement, notice I said used to, is now subsided. Okay, we have found land, no more gondolas, no more fishing, none of that. Okay, all I can tell you, those are the cleanest floors that you'll probably ever see in a basement in your life. And like for me, doing something that is usually labeled as, um, I want to say mostly a masculine thing, usually things that go bump in the night, things that needs to be fixed in the household. I know some people like to label it as a male thing, but here's my thing. I feel so accomplished and so powerful right now just because I did something outside of my norm. Have you ever encountered that? If so, like put something in the chat. Like I really want to talk to you instead of like me rambling on about my life. I want to kind of see what you guys are talking about and what you guys are seeing and feeling. But it just makes it like a huge accomplishment because you're just like, "Ugh, I got to deal with a hole. There's a lot of water. And I didn't know how deep my well was until I put this pedestal sub pump in it. And all of a sudden, it's just like all kinds of craziness that's going on in here. So, for people that are coming in, welcome in. My name is Audrey. I am just going to be sharing some of my shenanigans as well as, sharing my ideas. I'm an online math tutor. I used to be a classroom teacher, and now I'm like tutoring like there's no tomorrow. And I got like two leads today. And hey, you just got to put yourself out there and just go ahead and go. And if you ever want to small chit chat, say hi, just go ahead and say hi. Put it in chat. Let's do a little dive. I'm not going to be on here for an hour like I was yesterday, but I am going to give you an update. There's no more floods. It is very bone dry in my basement. Life is moving in the right direction. Got two new leads today. Got a couple of kids today. More than a couple of kids today. Like this is the week that a lot of people are looking for tutors. So if you know of anyone that's child is like this is second quarter, they have to pass this quarter, they probably didn't do well last quarter and they're looking for a tutor, even if it's not me. I have tons of friends that are tutors as well. Hey, Queen Mom. And if you're ever looking for someone that needs a tutor, just let me know because I have some really great friends that are awesome and amazing at online tutoring, and they're willing to help you from elementary all the way up to adults. Let's go. Like, why struggle? What are you doing? You got people that actually went to school for this in particular, didn't do anything else. But that's what we're all doing, right? So that was one thing. Trying to live my crazy life as an entrepreneur. Um, it's sometimes it feels like it's really weird to even say that, and I feel that especially when around this time of year, a lot of people are just like, I'm not feeling it. Like, I don't know about you. The moon is nice and big and bright for us. And I'm just like, maybe that's why I'm feeling kind of weird. Um, but I just feel like it doesn't feel like Christmas right now. It doesn't feel like next week, like in a week and a day, it's going to be Christmas Day. It just feels like another day, feels like another year. Then I'm dealing with life and everything. But I just really want to really come on here other than to sell my wares, to show you some of the things that I've been doing to kind of help people with their livelihoods. Is I just want you guys to know that You all are amazing. Everyone has a special gift. And I know we all go on here. There's a lot of people that preach. There's a lot of people that are always saying these. I don't know, maybe it's my algorithm, that there's a lot of people that are like, hey, God's saying this to you, and make sure you say amen in order to get this blessing. And I don't know, maybe it's just my algorithm. But God is going to bless you. And like I said yesterday or the other day, I feel like it was the other day, that I've been going through so much in a year. Like in 1 year, I have gone through, I've lost former students. They either unalived themselves or they were murdered, car accidents, um, moved away, contracted diseases, passed on. I've had, and my thing is, no one has the statistics for I had some kids that are doing awesome in college. I had some kids that basically couldn't take first semester and they're just lost. I have some friends of mine that 1 minute we were tight and next thing you know, we're not as tight. Or some of them because I'm doing so much work for my business that, I can't really be that fun loving person that I was before because Audrey needs to figure out who Audrey, not 1.0 or 2.0, Audrey 5.27 needs to figure herself out. And just like everyone else is doing as well. So I just want to know, and I just really want to basically to tell you guys, because I don't think anyone actually stops to tell you that you are amazing. The things that you do, even if it's like the talents that some of you guys have, like the drawings and the things that you're creating out of like recyclables and whatever the things you're doing, it's amazing. And I was talking to a tutor earlier this morning. Yeah, I've been up all night because I'm trying to get everything situated. And she was just like, I don't think I'm good enough. Or and then there was another person later on that said, you know, I would love to do online tutoring, but I don't know if I can survive. Well, regardless of what you guys want to do, for me, I believe in education. I believe that we all should be sharing our expertise with today's youth because a lot of them, as I said yesterday, a lot of them, Big Mama is not around. Like I know some people were raised with Big Mama. She was like the monarch of the family. Well, Big Mama's not there anymore. She in the club trying to get that little honey dip and trying to live her best life, with whatever wig that she wants to call on Shay Shay, Boo Boo, BB wig, whatever it is, and they're just trying to get themselves together. So now that Big Mama's not there, who's going to step up? So because a lot of our kids need this, especially our young ladies. I don't know what's going on. I know everyone's like blaming on the music. I'm like, look, music is going to be music. It's a form of expression. It's a form of joy. It's a form of just getting things out there. Oh, hey, girl. Hey, Shay. So it just seems to me that there's a lot of change. There's a lot of twists. There's a lot of turns. But there's not too many voices that's being heard. A lot of the monarchs of our families are not speaking up because they just want to just fit in. So I just basically wanted to do something. And that little something was this pan out is I know it's in reverse, but it's a coloring and activity book. And it's really geared towards young ladies, you know, typical blessed, who you are, what you stand for. This is what I want to know. I want to hear you. I want you to see yourself in this light. I want you to see your beauty. I want you to see your original nose. I want you to see your original chin. I want you to see all your features and love every bit of yourself. Yes, you've gained some weight. Guess what? You didn't lose your personality. That's what I want you to do. I want you to embrace it. And I want something that is going to be tangible. Not only is a coloring book, it's also some activities in the very back. Thank you for the love. Like in the very back, you have like a couple puzzles. You also have some discussion points. You'll be amazed on what kids will share when they're doing something art and creative. Anything artistic and creative, you'll be amazed at what they'll actually share with so many other people. So this is the reason why I just literally sat down. I'm going to sit here and tell you, I didn't draw it. Yes, but I know I had to put AI help me to it. I had some other people help me as well. But I know what I wanted to see. I want people to see that it's okay to be smart and beautiful. It's okay to have a talent in the kitchen and have talents elsewhere. It's okay for you to be creative with art, with music, with your voice. You shouldn't have to feel like you need to be silenced. No, you should never have to feel like you should be silenced. So, anybody that has like a young lady, ages 8 and up, okay, maybe even a little bit younger if they want to, but I think around 8 and up will also love to have something like this. Now, there's a third book. I did three. That was the first one. Here's the second one. Okay. The second one, very much the same way. Oops. Let me kind of get it around this way. Okay. Very much the same way. Have some puzzles in the back, have a lot of cartoons, a lot of the words, a lot of phrases, different faces, some of my emo kids, some of my intelligence, different nationalities. I have a little Hindu, I have a little Asian. It's all around the world discussion, right? So these are something that I really wanted to share. I wanted people to see and just be able to have discussions. So one of the other things that I have is a planner, and it hasn't come in for Amazon because it's tis the season, everybody's ordering from Amazon. So my book is not that important, I guess. So when it's a planner, and it comes with 24 different discussion topics. So any kind of discussion topic that they want to have, like it's like if you were president, what would you change? What would you keep the same? What are 5 things that you love about yourself? Here and even give you some blank spaces. So when they do get together in groups, maybe an event happened that we need to have a discussion about it. Like, guys, how are you feeling? Ever since like Gingrich, when she passed away, everyone lost their mind because we knew that a lot of things were going to change. So with all these things happening, our younger kids are actually feeling it. They're just not showing it as much. They're really feeling these changes and they're just like they don't know what to do. It's already hard enough for them to deal with everyday life changes. Now we're going to have to add discussions of who's in control of their own bodies and all this stuff. By having this discussion, now they know that they don't feel alone. And I know they want to have a discussion with mom, but it's a discussion with mom. They're not going to shell out that much with moms. I know, mom, I know it feels horrible because you're like, hey, I can share a lot of information. But no matter what, prime example, I have a young lady whose mom is a math teacher and she's not doing well in school. And the mom feels like, I feel bad because I am an actual math teacher. I'm like, but your mom. They're not going to go running to mom when they need problems like that. It's just not going to happen. Life of a teenager. I'm really good at translating teenage. So, with all those things, having people to write things down, having a planner, having some organization. We can't keep going on in this life just by the wind and a prayer. Like it can't. You have to have some kind of organization. So there's a calendar there. So, but this I just feel like is just like a really cool stocking stuffer. Anyone that's interested, hey, a whole lot of how are you doing? Um, it just seems like it's just like a really cool stocking stuffer. Anyone that has a young lady in their life, if you're a teacher and you're just like, you know what, this would be really cool to have. Yes, you can buy it on Amazon, but this is what I have been working on most of the day. I finally have it digitized and ready for purchase. Everything is finally situated, and it's definitely more less than half. Then it's definitely less than like $5 for the digital. And if you can see, look how thick this book is, right? It's easily like 113 pages. And I'm selling it for less than $4 and some change with taxes. That's it. and you can get access of this whole entire thing. And you can download it. It'll be great, like during the holidays when you want the kids to get away from a computer for 5 seconds and be able to do something that's a little creative. Maybe you can have bits and pieces of a page, and then your child can have a page, and we're just sitting here coloring. Or maybe the cousins that are getting together, they can sit down and color and the coloring book as well. So again, it's just you can either buy it on Amazon, which this is my very first time doing it on Amazon, or you can go to my website, which I will put into the replay. Actually, you can get the website that's on my link, that's on my bio, and you can easily just copy and paste that, and it's up and ready to go whenever you're ready. So I was just trying to think, like during the season, how can we talk to our young ladies? And trust me, I know these young men, they need help. Yes, I see a couple of things that's going on in here. Let me take a quick little gander. Yeah, nice. 3 books. Yes, Lynette. It's a series. It's called She Creates. So I always like to say, you know what? She creates drama, but think of all the other things she creates. She creates inspiration. She creates motivation. She creates art. She creates adventure. So when I see someone and they say, "Oh, I'm not that exciting," shut up. You are exciting. You have a lot of greatness within you and you need to get it out. Don't be afraid to show the world what you do. It's God's gift. He gave it to you. And if you don't believe in God, you believe in the universe, you got to believe in something because there's definitely something bigger than us. I love how a lot of people say, well, it all started with the Big Bang. Well, in order for us to have a big bang, it had to bang into something. So who created that? I like to blow people's minds sometimes. You're like, hmm, oh, yeah, I know. It's crazy. And she's cute. Well, what's going on? So that's the creative side of moi. For me, as a math tutor, and trust me, I had 6 sessions today. I love my kids. I'm going to start off with that. I love my kids. All of them are amazing. Today where was I? I was in Alaska for 2 sessions, Maryland for 2 sessions, Virginia for a session, and then back to Maryland. Okay, I forgot about the last one. I was in Maryland. Um, and all the kids are different. You know, some are doing pre-calculus, some are doing algebra 1, some of them are honor students, some of them are all over the place. But no matter what, the one thing that I keep seeing is their basic skills are struggling. So if you are a parent or a tutor or an administrator and you're just like, why can't our scores go up? What's going on? We have a great teacher and we can't get our scores up. Why is that? And a lot of the time we keep forgetting, and it's not just about the pandemic. We got to get that clear. The pandemic opened a lot of things up. That's true. But here's the thing. We were having trouble before the pandemic. We also had some teachers that on the slide, especially our elementary age, some of them are like, you know what, I'm not that strong with math, so I'm going to focus on the reading and really focus in on this and everything. And math time was like, 10 minutes. Okay, we spend enough time, keep it moving. And I've known people that said, yeah, I used to do that. But now they're getting older and all those basic concepts, fractions, putting a fraction to a decimal, place values, knowing the rules of integers, just doing basic multiplication is a struggle. Our kids don't know how to read multiplication charts. They can't do it. I've given them multiplication tables. Okay, have no idea. They don't know how to read it. Um, as my former, I should say, mother-in-law, who was really into Montessori, she says, you know, multiplication is just basically fast addition. But if we don't give the kids an opportunity to actually move and be able to pick up things and be able to identify this is what 1 is, this is what 2 is, this is what 3 is, and so forth, and be able to really absorb. That's why my friend Lynette, She's awesome with this because she does math through her abacus. And I watch her videos and I'm like, oh, I learned how to work an abacus. So if you're ever looking at just like learning with the net, that'll be a perfect person to look for. And if anyone that is a tutor that's listening in and you want to chime in and, present your business as well, go ahead, put it in the chat. You never know. Someone might be looking for someone that's looking for you. So anytime you go live or you're just in the stands, go ahead, put your information in there. Don't think like, oh, well, this is Audrey's stage and I don't want to interrupt. Do it. So, because you never know, someone is looking for a reading tutor. There is probably a first grader whose parent is like, I can't. I'm trying to break these concepts. They can't get the sound words. Why can't I get someone that they study for them? That's exactly what they do. Go out and get that. So, back to the math though. A lot of our kids, especially when they go into fourth grade, that's when you start really seeing the trouble. I've been seeing a lot of parents saying, I need help with my fourth grader. I need help with my fourth grader. If it's not fourth grade, it's fifth grade. And guess what's happening around that time? Multiplication, my babies, the distributive property, making sure that you're giving to everyone inside that parenthesis. Sometimes I'll just say, man, you guys are like greedy with your gum. And they're like, why? I'm like, I say you have a pack of gum and you need to give everyone in this group a piece of gum. And what do? You hold out. Dude, we couldn't be friends. Give me a piece of gum. But because of that multiplication and because of their handwriting, seriously, if you ever look at your child's books, I'm telling you, pass this live on to somebody. I know it's late. You're probably like, I don't know. Pass it on to someone that's a teacher, that's a parent. Pass it on to them. Okay. Just go ahead and share it. No problems. But it seems like if you look at your child's notebook and you open it up, you feel like you're leaning. Like they'll start off strong, and then all of a sudden there's a lean in the words. And then you notice yourself kind of leaning as you're reading because they don't have anything that's going to guide them. Most of our notebooks are written with lines that goes horizontally. But a lot of the kids, especially with math, they're asked to do things vertically. Solve an equation. It's a funnel. And they're trying to go from large to small. They're simplifying, but it's vertically. An angle, yes, but still it's going downwards. Most of our writing is not going from left to right. Most of our structure is going from top to bottom. And then sometimes we have to flip things around and rotate and translate in order for us to really achieve that. So our notebooks are not representing that. It's not giving our kids that freedom. So yes, it's really easy in the beginning of the year to go get a spiral notebook. As you can tell, back here I got tons, right? And a lot of them are filled up with math notes that I've taken when I was in the classroom. But the thing that a lot of our kids nowadays, they don't really need to take notes because of, I want to say, our special ed population. It's like you don't want those kids to make them feel like out of sorts because a lot of them do need either guided notes or maybe copies of the teacher's notes. So a lot of teachers figured, well, if I don't want him or her to stand out, let me make copies of my notes and then I give them to the students. Right? Sounds like a perfect solution, right? Wrong. What we're doing is we're taking away from the learning process. When you learn things, you learn by writing. You learn by drawing. You learn by construction and being creative. When you make mistakes, that's why there's erasers. Every pencil has an eraser. Now we got erasable pens because of that. A lot of people like to use pens, erasable pens, because you got the different colors, which can show you the different steps of you lining things up. So when you're looking at notes and notebooks, you need something that's going to be a little versatile. You're going to need something, especially for math, that's going to be able to draw graphs because our notes just have horizontal lines. And it's kind of hard because the spacing is either too big because we got wide ruled or okay small because of college rule. But then if you want to get graphing paper, sometimes you need graph paper, sometimes you don't. So you want something that's going to be a little versatile. You're going to want something that's really going to jump out. So in addition to my She Creates activity and coloring books that I put out there, the one that really started it all was my math notebook. Okay. I designed this math notebook for seventh graders on up to adults because I tutor seventh graders to adults. And because of the experiences that I have with my clients, I was like, you know what? These kids need organization. Like they need Jesus in their lives, or they just need words of encouragement. And they need a reminder that, you know what? You came to me as a hard shelled person saying that you will never be able to do math. And now you're leaving me with the ability, hey, Abby, you're leaving me with the ability to actually do the math, be able to apply the math to situations, as well as feeling confident to help your classmates. To me, that's a win-win-win situation. That's all I want. That, the payment's nice, but that's the reward. So when it comes to, let me give you a little bit, my math notebook, and I know everything's in reverse. I could easily flip my camera, but I'm lazy. All right, I just definitely wanted to get on here before anything. So on one side, you have a Cornell inspired notebook. So right here, you have your formulas. Any formula that is going to be used for that particular lesson will be right here. Then you have your step-by-step guide. And this is something that could be teacher-led or it could be student-led and just have the teacher basically check to make sure that they're doing the right process. Enough room for them, and I know for the older ones, I do like a dot graph type thing, so it gives you enough room, a little versatility for you to put down your steps, how things are going to go. But then at the very top, what's called a mood tracker. So I'm basically asking the students when they come in, hey, how you doing? Go ahead and circle. How you feeling? Even if they're feeling like I'm okay, there's a meh character in the center of it. So it's kind of like interesting and hard to see, right? So you're either feeling super great or you're feeling I'm about to burn this place down. So hopefully we don't see too many of the reds because I don't have a fire extinguisher. But it's nice to see how they progress throughout the session. So it could be, what are they feeling in the beginning? How are they feeling during the lesson? Just tell them like, hey, go ahead and circle real quick. And then at the end, how are you feeling at the end? Because a lot of administrators, they always ask the same thing. How do you know that your kids are learning? And we as teachers, we will make some kind of thing up that may sound good for the moment. But overall, we are always like, I don't know. Because I just go by what the kids are doing. Okay, the test, they did well on the test, they did well on the quiz, they did well on the exit ticket. But that kid can easily look information up. There's tons of apps that they can do that. They can basically threaten the smartest kid in the classroom, like, give me your answers or I'm going to beat you up, because that's what kids do. Um, not me, just other kids. But other than that, they can basically just like look at someone else's paper, talk to their friends, and just copy it down. And if you use the same exit ticket for all your classes, once your first period class leave, they'll see their kids that's coming to you second period, and they'll just say the answer is 5. And that's all they do is just copy it down. So with this notebook, you have your instructional piece on one side. On the other side is a graphing paper. So it's a total of like 100 pages. 50 pages of the inspired Cornell note side, and 50 pages of the graph paper. Now, I know there's going to be some information that you get from your teacher that you rather just have that in your notebook. You can do this. So here's a piece of paper from someone's notes. You could tape it in. Now, this is one thing that I like to do instructional wise. So if a teacher says, okay, tape this in your notebook, you tape it in. But then teachers, this is what you can do, and also homeschool parents as well. You can have the kids summarize what's on that paper on this side. What are the steps that they need to remember? What are the formulas that needs to be addressed for that particular lesson? So now you're not only letting the students, okay, this is a great worksheet. I love it. I want the kids to know it. It has all the formulas on there, but get them to rewrite. Because when you get students to rewrite, dang, they're learning not only verbally, they're also learning with their eyes, they're also learning through touch, and they remember. So the one thing that I know about this book that is, yeah, not super expensive, but for a notebook, it's pretty up there, right? Because we're so used to like spending $1 on a notebook. But because I'm using color pages, and you would think, oh, okay, Audrey, but that's great. But is that all that you have on there? Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. You think I'm just one dimensional? No way. So the other part that I have is a resource page. So remember those formulas I'm talking about? Like there are some people that have, when it comes to remembering their formulas and their basic facts. I hear a lot of tutors are like, these kids don't know their basic facts. All right, well, you know what? Stop complaining and give them a tool to help them. So one of the things that I mentioned earlier is our kids don't understand the multiplication tables. You ask them what are some factors of 6? What's the greatest common factor? How can you break down the radicals? Radicals are square roots. Well, the other different roots as well. Um, so it's kind of like, how are you knowing that these kids are doing this? So this is what I developed. Right here, you see a factor sheet. I'm going to move it in as best as I can. So with the factor sheet, it doesn't go just from 1 to 100. Oh no. Since I'm dealing with a lot of older students, they're going to be dealing with some bigger numbers. So far I've gone from 1 to 200. And I'll give you your facts. So say, for example, we're looking at, say, 28. All right, so factors of 28, we got 1 and 28. We have 2 and 14, and 4 and 7. And I know if I'm going to break down a radical, like the square root of 28, I want to get what's called a perfect prime combination. So a perfect prime combination is basically a perfect square. So square root of 4, square root of 9, square root of 16, square root of 25. Because that number times itself will give us what's underneath the radical, what's called the radicand. See, you're learning some math. Look at you. All right. I know it's a different language. Math is its own entity, right? So when it comes down to that, I'm taking that moment of confusion out and then I'm giving them the listing. The more and more they get associated with this, eventually by the end of the school year, they won't be using it. Now, I'm a true believer that even after the factor sheet, I'm helping them with word problems. I'm listing the most common words and phrases. Okay, the most common words and phrases that's used in most word problems for math. So I have it written down in addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, the equal sign, and I know a lot of kids right now are looking at inequalities. Some people just can't keep these run things straight. Which one's greater than? Which one's less than? That's in here. Okay, the associative property, the commutative property, then also the rules for integers. No one can keep them straight. But guess what? It's here and it's colorized, it pops, and I give you examples of each one. And then I give you the general rule down here. So if you ever get stuck, you can easily find it in here. So now here's another part. If you have like these removable tabs, you can put these removable tabs in and get to your uh, and get to your stuff right away. So this is simplifying radicals. That's what I was talking about earlier. So now I got my formulas, what I use. I have my steps here. I got enough steps to have to work those things out. So everything is going to be right here. So even though, or although, we have all of those things, and this is for my older kids, and I know you're probably saying, well, right now, Audrey, that's like Algebra 1 stuff. Yeah, and our kids need help with Algebra 1 stuff. Okay? I know once people start putting numbers and letters together, everybody lost their damn minds. But these are the things that carries over. Once you understand these concepts, you can apply it to pre-calc, to calculus, to AP statistics, all the way up. Okay? You can actually take a look at the equation of the lines, then as well as the properties of exponents, as well as the order of operation, not only what they do in the States, but also what they say internationally, my Canadian friends. Okay, so I reached out to some people, I'm like, what do you guys do? What do you guys say? Hey, Antoinette, you know, all right. Then also we have volume. Okay, the formulas and areas and perimeter and volume, looking at tri- those 3D dimensional figures, right? Then also for my trig people, hi, how are you? There is life after Pythagorean's theorem, okay? You're looking at the different types of identities. This part I definitely want to add in because I didn't have that in there. Since I'm tutoring a kid that's doing this, I'm like, let me put that in for my next one. Also, the laws of sine and laws of cosine. And I think I had a session on that today, and I'm going to have a session on that tomorrow. So with that, and then the famous, can't give it up, the unit circle. All this in one spot. Okay? All of this is right here for retrieval, up and going. But then you're saying, we got all these kids doing all this stuff. Our kids are stressing out. Audrey, like, it's too much. Well, that's why I also incorporate what's called brain breaks. Everybody just needs a moment away. So either they're going to do like a puzzle, or as soon as I can flip it, we might even have like a coloring page, just something that just gives you that nice feeling, just to give you a break away from the norm. And all those kids that like to do pixel art, I give you some room to do some pixel art and maybe even sketch yourself a little something at the bottom. All right. So with all that being said, how's my math notebook? And so far, I've been selling them. And I've been giving them to a couple of my online clients. And the one thing that everyone keeps saying this is a game changer was this factor sheet. They love this factor sheet. They're like, this makes my life so much easier. They're like, thank you. Because trying to figure out what two numbers multiplied together will give me 12 and add together to give me, I don't know, 8. You will sit in a tutoring session for 10 minutes and your head is bumping. Like you're in the club, like, I mean, it's crazy, but they can't do it. They will get the answer eventually, but you're doing a lot of prompting. Give me the list. Give me numbers multiplied together to give me 12. And I love when they say 5 and 7. I'm like, multiply to give me 12. So then you're talking and you're discussing. So now with the factor sheet, they can go straight to 12 and they can be like, all right, that's 1 and 12, 6 and 2, and 3 and 4. 6 and 2. 6 plus 2. That's 8. Yay! And you're like, yes, we did it in less than a minute. That's awesome. Thank you. So these are the things. Sometimes our kids need that. because the multiplication chart that they have on the back of the composition books, one, they don't use it. Two, if you look at the back of your child's composition book, it's probably blacked out because they were bored and they want to do something different. And they want something that's going to kind of help them to refocus. Because our kids, their attention span is getting shorter and shorter because of the way our society has evolved. Now everything is about our phone. Like for me, I'm oldie. I have no idea where, oh, yeah. I was like, I have no idea where my phone is. Hi. You can tell I'm tired because I'm talking to my phone. So that's why I know I can always laugh and joke about myself when it comes to stuff like that. But I literally was looking around for my phone and I'm talking right to it. Shenanigans. All right. So, but these are the things that I do. This is the reason why I was like away for almost like a month from a lot of my family and a lot of my friends. Because, you gotta let girl cook, she gotta let her cook because these are the things that they need. So if you are interested in purchasing them, I know they're all available on Amazon. You can go ahead and just type my name, Audrey Codner, and it'll pop up. You can follow me because I know I definitely have a couple more books that's going to be coming out. I'm currently working on a book for people that are thinking about doing online tutoring, for the very first time. And I'm going to be revamping my You Can Tutor membership. This is a community and it's going to be a women's only for math, English, Spanish. Gives you a place for you to talk about your business. What are some of the things that you're seeing? Basically trying to build a community where people are going to feel safe. They're going to be able to ask questions. They're going to have someone that's going to be encouraging, at the same time learning how to do the basics that you need just to do an online tutoring business. I'm not here to rip people off. I'm just here to educate. I'm here to push people and to really want them to do good work. You ever just feel like a lot of people are missing that? Just do good work. So I'm not gonna hold you up too much. I love the people that are able to come in and come out. I was like, Aaron, I'm not sure if it's my Aaron. You got Aaron, you got Maddie. Thank you so much. There's a lot of people, Taurus came in, come out. A couple people, Lynette, that came in and came out. I greatly appreciate it because really you could be watching something else. You could be doing something else. But I greatly appreciate the fact that you're here. Now, so if you are interested in the She Creates, you can either, because if you're on TikTok, I know you can't really just put the link on, but you can go to my website right now and be able to click on the link that will take you to the payment link, which you will be given same day a digital version of the She Creates. And you can pick whatever series you want. You can pick the first one, you can pick the second one. You can also take a look at the planner. Plus, I did like a short little video in there so you'll be able to take a look for yourself. Now, if it's not about the She Creates, we also got the math notebook. And online, I have 3 different covers. It's the same information inside. Everyone is still just trying to figure it out. Here's something that I did with geometry. I took one of the worksheets that one of my students was working on and just to show how you can expand and keep walking on through with all this. And there is another version of this notebook for 4th and 6th graders. I haven't even mentioned that. Remember, I was talking about like trying to line everything up? Instead of the dots, you see how there's like the dot graph type thing? They're going to continue on with like the blocks, but the blocks are going to be bigger so they can write their numbers inside. I think a lot of teachers call it math tiles. So they can write each digit so they can keep track of everything. So they can get all their decimal points lined up when they're adding, subtracting decimals. They get everything situated like, okay, what's the ones, what's the tens, helping with the place values. So that, and plus their resources are a little bit more detailed, especially with fractions, percents, little more elementary than I do have in here. Obviously, the unit circle is not going to be in that one, but I do still have the factor sheet. So this factor sheet that I have from 1 to 200, that's also in the 4th through 6th grade. And if you go to my website, acgmathtutoring.com, you will actually see a small video within the area. So you can actually take a look at it for yourself and they'll show you. I had my friend Bridget, she got hers. I loved how she got her copy of the book and I haven't got mine. And I'm the author. I feel some type of way. Amazon. Okay, I'm over it. So but for the most part, when she was videotaping, I was able to put it on there so you can actually see what the notebook looks like and get a little more detail with it. So those are the things that I'm doing. And I know later on, everything I'm putting the finishing touches on some courses. And I know everyone's doing courses. Yeah, but everyone's not me. Okay. So that's another thing that you got to remember about yourself. If you want to do something, do it because you're going to do it in a different way because you're you. No one else is you. So I don't care if there's a lot of engineers out there. I don't care if there's a lot of soldiers out there, a lot of, police officers and teachers and bakers and whatever you want to do as a career. They are not you. So you got to remember that. Everything that you do, you are you. No one else is like you. So we have to learn to change that mindset. We really do. And I know for me, I'm learning, it's not so much from my parents, but from the people that I was growing up with. They all wanted to stay in this bubble. And I'm like, nah, that's crazy. No one actually wants to get up and go and get up and grow. And I'm like, I can't be around that. So as you're progressing with your life, you're going to have moments of reflections, but really get in touch with you. This is the one life. You might come back as a cricket. I don't know, Buddhism, all that. But no matter what, remember who you are. Okay. So if you want to do a notebook, do a notebook. If you want to do a journal, yes, there's 60 million journals out there, but you might have a cover that's going to attract someone and they're going to be like, I want every kid to have this cover. You never know. Or if you have an idea about a workbook or teachers, please listen to me. Every assignment, you see all those books behind me? This is just a small bit. I have binders in my other room filled with papers that I've done, assessments that I've done. I think I should put a lot of these things up and sell them online for like dirt cheap. But these are things that you have created. You also should have it. Why not? Why not? So if you're doing a lot of things, all my artists out there, even if you had that one picture, you're like, ugh, that's an ugly picture. Keep it. Because I know months down the road, you're going to look at it again. And you're like, oh, it's not that bad. I just need to tweak it. You're to tweak it. So tweak it. Okay. So when you're doing all these things, I'm doing courses. And I noticed that I've been receiving a lot of people that want to get their GED. Now, here's my thing. The new year's coming. Everyone talks about new year, new me, right? New year, new me. That's what we all want to do. So why not do the academics? Why not get your high school diploma? You had to go because you had to do something. You had to take care of your family. You had to take care of your parents. You had to be the adult in the family. We get it. Okay, we get it. Whatever the reason why is you didn't complete it, guess what? You're still here. You still have a brain and you can still go back. And you can go back and learn bits and pieces. You don't have to spend 8 to 20 hours anymore. You don't have to. Okay? Hey, David. So you have to remember, go out and do you. So when it comes to the courses, I'm basically taking from two perspectives. Okay, so one perspective is if you want to get the whole entire course, and I'm saying the whole entire course is 107 videos. Like I'm really digging as deep as I can with algebra, and there's some data analysis in there, as well as what else? Obviously statistics, data analysis, some functions, some relationship. I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff with Algebra 1 that you guys probably forgot because you've been a fetus since the last time you saw that, right? So, with the whole algebra concepts, it'll be helpful, and I twist it in a way that's going to be good for GED, as well as those that are thinking about joining the military. If you're thinking about joining the military, you're like, yeah, I can do push-ups all day. I can definitely run the mile. I can do all this other stuff, but I just can't pass that test. We got to talk about how you study. We got to talk about what are you studying? Are you writing things and putting them in a notebook? And trust me, if you do the course and you write down the notes very well, you can sell this notebook to someone else. You know, we live in America. We sell pictures of feet. Like, why not go ahead and put together your notebook together and you can sell that. And you can probably make your money back from the notebook. Even if you do the digital copy, if you keep it nice and neat, you can definitely sell it, right? So, with all those things, we have not only for GED, I'm working on for ASVET, for people that just need general remediation, refresher with algebra concepts. There's another concept for you, as well as those that are trying to take the AccuPlacer. So the AccuPlacer, as usually I see it with a lot of people that are going into the community college, and this is a real thing that a lot of people are doing now because college is expensive. So why not go to a local community college, build up a lot of your credits, make sure that the credits are transferable. Listen to me, okay? Make sure the credits are transferable. So when you do transfer out to another 4-year school, you're not starting all the way from the very beginning. You already spent like basically less than half at a community college, transfer those credits, and all you need to take is like maybe a couple classes here and there for your specialty, and then also labs and everything else. So, with people doing that or taking that route, it just seems like when they do go that communication route, community college route, and they're taking the AccuPlacer, you got to remember you can't use a calculator for the AccuPlacer. You can use a calculator for ACT and for SAT, but for the AccuPlacer, you cannot use a calculator unless there is a computerized calculator and it only pops up at certain sections. Okay. Things might have changed since the last time I've done it, but I feel like a lot of people are generally doing that. So, with that, a lot of people have to understand your basic concepts. A lot of those skills that I'm going to keep flashing it up. No, I feel like I'm flashing. Flash! A lot of these concepts that's in my math notebook, especially the integers. And then also word problems, how to translate from a word or verbal to algebraic. What are those basic concepts? So a lot of those things are missing, okay? But we need to understand those so you can pass the test. And sometimes it's just a matter of you just understanding how a slope works or understanding how to graph an equation of line. You probably never had anyone tell you just need two things. You need a starting point and you need how to move. The starting point is your y-intercept and how to move is your slope. And maybe that might be the thing that clicks. And that's a part of that program. And I'm trying to keep these basically lowest of the low. So I'm going to basically tweak it up, but I'm going to hold it for about like a month. So in like 1 month, I'm going to have like a flash sale. Literally, the courses, especially, there's two ways. You can get it all at once and you can do self-paced, or because a lot of us adults need some guidance. You might need to kind of hand deliver it in your email at least one lesson a day. So you'll have just enough. It won't be so overwhelming. You can always catch up if you do miss a day, and then you just take it and run with it. So now I know there's a lot of creators, especially on TikTok, and I'm starting to see some on Instagram, and I'm live here on Facebook. And it just seems, and also LinkedIn, it just seems to me that when you get everything all at once, it gets overwhelming. Because if you miss one day, all of a sudden you feel like you lost everything. Just like the new year. The new year, you're like, the new year, new me. That's me all day. And then you're going to the gym. You haven't been to the gym in years, or maybe the last time that we had a resolution, right? Not stretching. And then all of a sudden you're on this treadmill trying to run at a level of 6.2. Girl, boy, stop. And then you wonder why. Do I really need to sit down to go to the bathroom? Because you're like making hard decisions because you're so sore. And you're just like, I don't know. And then all of a sudden you're doing well, you're eating carrots, you haven't had carrots in years. And then, yeah, the first snowstorm comes. I'm not going to the gym, it's snowing. Then all of a sudden, oh, I'm not going to do this because of that. Or, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. And before you know it, here we are in July, and you said that you were going to be snatched, and you're not. And guess what? It's okay because you need to start. I'm starting over myself. I definitely gained a good 20 pounds over the summer, right? So, with all of this being said, everybody wants to make a change, but it's hard to keep motivated. So when you have a community, you have a person that's basically saying, yes, you can do it. Yes, you can get your GED. Yes, you can get organized with your math. Yes, you are a great, strong young lady, and you should have representation that represents you and your lovely little coloring books, and that's what you need to show. You can also say, yes, I can lose this weight. You can also be like, yes, I am smart. Yes, I do belong here. Yes, I am. And you fill in the blank each and every time. There's tons of people that are making money doing, what is it, motivational speeches, affirmations, tons. But if you don't believe in yourself, all this affirmations and saying these words are just words. So it's time to make a change. Okay? So if getting your education and getting that high school diploma, or living a different life, maybe going into the military, or maybe going into a college, into a field, or maybe college isn't your thing and you want to learn a skill. Hey, that's why we're here. We're here to learn, and whatever we learn, we pass it on to others. That's why we're here, babies. So why not? Why not absorb that, right? So, in addition, because this is what's going to happen with the courses, you're not just going to have videos and then, yeah, there's some practice sheets as well as answer keys. But twice a month, I have Q&A sessions. You can ask me questions. Me, hi, Audrey. How you doing? How you doing? Lovely to meet you. Hello, Denise. Or is that Dennis? Sorry. Okay. Oh, Abby. So I was like, if anything, let's see, maybe I'll let Abby up here in a moment. Let me speak my crazy mind for a second, Abby. I'll let you in. Um, but when it comes down to the education, just taking that first step is crucial. And it's okay. We all fall off. But guess what? You don't fall too far that you can't do anything. Let's keep moving. Let's keep up with the education. Don't worry about like, oh, the government's this and the government's that. The government's always been screwed up. Okay? But we all still survive. We're all still living as best we can. So why not learn something? We're always ready to learn something. We're always ready to be a part of something. So why not? So, if anything, I am going to close up on my Facebook and also YouTube, but I'm going to stay on TikTok just a little bit longer. So hopefully I'm going to say my good nights to my Facebook fam and peeps. If you guys want to continue on the party, just come on over to TikTok. Just type in Audrey Connor or just look at my picture live and just click on it. All right. So Facebook, YouTube, I think Instagram. I'm going to say good night.